You see what happened?
So in this video, you're going to see me going through the steps to troubleshoot the FatBee FB90, including transmitter calibration, transmitter setup, beta flight setup, the physical inspection of the quad, securing down the flight control board, and securing all the props. And so once you have done that, the erratic behavior of your FatBee FB90 will go away, and everything that's discussed in here applies to any size quad, and even the big size mini quad like this. So yeah, so that's the purpose of this video. So always remember that Quadcopter is not rocket science. So I hope you guys like this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos. See you next time. So for the physical part of the quad, in order for the quad to fly balanced without any vibration or minimized vibrations and without any erratic behavior, everything has to be secure. So the props have to be secure by the prop nuts. The motors have to be secure also by the motor nuts. The flight control board are secure, and the VTX and the PCB, everything have to be secure by the screws and standoff. The VTX secure, camera secure, and all the wires are all tied down properly. So for this to be able to fly properly, and also for the gyroscope and the accelerometer to perform accordingly, so everything has to be well secured down. So this is no different to the FatBee. So I understand that for the FatBee, there's a lot of problems with the erratic behavior of the FatBee. So my personal experience is that the FatBee flight control board wasn't secure properly. It was just secured by a very small amount of double-sided phone tape on the front and at the back of the flight control board. So because of that, when you throttle up, there's a lot of movement in the flight control board. Because of the movement in the flight control board, then you have that erratic behavior for the FatBee, even though everything is secure. So before I open up the FatBee canopy, let me talk about how I secure everything down. Of course, the motors are secured by the grommet. Yeah. The props I secure with a bit of super glue, which is the Loctite super glue that I have. Don't worry about that. The glue itself is not permanent. It can still be removed. So every time that you crash your quadcopter, you can re-glue the props back on. So I secure the wires with a bit of rubber bands. So let me open up the FatBee canopy. The front camera is a bit loose, so I don't secure that, but when you put this on, I think it's push it down quite a bit, but that's okay. I can secure that later. The main thing is that I secure the flight control board with two pieces of Velcro. So I just stuck the rough side and the smooth side of the Velcro together, and then the glue part, I just glue it down to the frame, and then the top part of the glue part of the Velcro, I put the flight control board on that, and I further secure it down with these rubber bands. after I've done that, I found that there is no more erratic behavior when I throttle up. So that's the main thing. You need to secure everything down before you can troubleshoot other issues with the FatBee in terms of the erratic behavior. So this is the end of this discussion about securing everything down. I'll move on to the next part. So in relation to the physical part of the quad, sometimes when you have problems with flight, you may find that the craft will move like slightly to the right or to the left. It keeps going that way, or one of the motors is not spinning correctly. In that situation, make sure that your motors and your props are not tightly pushed together, because if it is tightly pushed together, the props will not spin properly. So just pull this up a bit and it should be fine. The other issues with craft moving like sideways like this is because of sticks are not properly calibrated in your transmitter. So if your sticks are not properly calibrated, what happens is that the sticks physically will look center or at the right position like that, but electronically, when the signal is transmitted to your craft, the sticks may be off like that in the transmission part where you can't see it. So because the sticks are off center, so make sure that you also calibrate your transmitter if you're troubleshooting erratic behavior. So this concludes the part of the sticks calibration of the transmitter, and also the props pushing too hard on the motors. I'll move on to the next part. So for the FatBee, your DEVO70 has to be configured in a certain way so that you can arm and you can perform normally. So let me go to the mixer to show you my setup. So the throttle, aileron, elevator, rudder, and even the switches are all simple settings. And you must always remember with DSM, you need to reverse the aileron and the rudder. So the simple setting is just like that. Curve 1, scale 100. This is the throttle. Aileron's the same thing. Elevator. Hold switch. F mode switch. So the flight mode switch is basically auxiliary 2 and the whole switch is auxiliary 1. So the auxiliary 1 is usually used for the arming, and the auxiliary 2 are used for modes. So I only use acro and angle. So that's fine. Or you can use horizon and angle. It depends on you, how you want to set it up. The next thing that you need to do is you need to go to throttle and adjust the scale so that the values in better flight will be between 1000 and 2000. So my setting is the minimum limit, maximum limit is negative. I think that's the normal. Then the scale, negative scale and the positive scale, they are 146. So that's my setup for the Devo 7E for the FatBee. For the stick calibration of this Devo 7E, you need to go into the transmitter menu, transmitter configuration, and just go to calibrate, enter, and just follow instructions. So basically you just press enter and move sticks and knobs to maximum and minimum position, then press enter. So you just basically do this. And just do this a few times and then just return it to center. Press enter, and it should be all done. Let's go exit to the channel monitor and see whether they are in the middle. So the yaw stick is a bit off, probably because of the trimming. So let me try doing this again. So let's go back to channel monitor. Yeah, it looks alright. Now let me just try. We can still adjust this. I want to do this, make sure that it's all center. And then I'll do some adjustment in better flight. Okay, that's the sticks calibration. So the FPV B90 is now connected to Betaflight. So I'm going to show you the settings in Betaflight. So it's connected. for the receiver. You can see that the receiver is also connected, and because I have done the settings earlier, the scaling to 150, and also I did the transmitter calibration, so you can see that the throttle values is between 1001 and 1800, and that's fine. And with the roll pitch and yaw, you must make sure that you press it up or down and make sure that it goes is around 1500. So as you can see, the pitch and the roll, they are roughly around 1500. So they have around fluctuating between 1500 and 1504. So I need to go this down a bit. So the dead band is around 3 and 4, so I'll set it 4. So that's just about right. And then let's just check the mode, the switches, that's fine, the arming switch, and then the angle and acro, so the switches are also fine. So that's all you need to do with Beta Flight, and just make sure that the calibration is correct. So it's done. So that's it for the Beta Flight setup, and we should be good to go.